we recording?
Are you there, democracy? It's me, the internet.
Is today's technology good or bad for democracy? I think that that's a fascinating question. I think it is wonderful for democracy because one of the things that I'm learning is that the essence of democracy is discussion.
An informed population is powerful. A powerful population is one who runs their own country.
I want to state absolutely clearly that there is no good, there is no bad. It just is. It is a tool. A hammer can be a very good thing. A hammer used another way can be a very bad thing. But it's not the hammer. It is the user. It's not the program. It's the user.
Technology is neutral. Technology is neither good nor bad. Technology is, right? It's the people, the way we use that technology that makes it good or bad.
The progression of technology has definitely shaped democracy and how we interact. For instance, radio allowed us to hear the voices of our politicians. Then when TV came around, we were able to engage visually as well. And now we have the internet. How is that shaping how we interact?
The discussions that we have about issues, the ways that we think about the things that are happening in our society. And up until recently, those discussions have been taken away from us. They have been occurring in the mass media. They have been the domain of journalists and politicians and professionals, and the average person has been kind of relegated to just being a passive observer. We would consume these opinions, but we don't actually get to contribute. We don't actually get to participate in those discussions. And I think that technology has kind of allowed us to take those discussions back.
Is technology good or bad for democracy? I think it's one of the best things for democracy. A lot of other people would like to argue that, dissenters who believe that it just exposes too much. If anything, it exposes the right amount, exactly what we need to see.
I remember being a teenager and there was so much that I wanted to know. There was so much I wanted to do with my life and in the world, and I felt so enthusiastic, and yet it was so difficult to find information about what was possible and what I could do with my life and who I could interact with. And it's not that way anymore.
Because television and radio were one-sided. The flow of communication was one way. We maybe heard a statement we didn't like or liked and didn't have the ability to communicate back with our politicians apart from our vote.
Everyone gets a voice. I mean, some people might think that that's bad, but I think it's good that everyone gets a voice.
I think it's a good thing and a bad thing, just like with everything else. When you look at computers, they allow us to communicate in ways that we were not able to do at one point in time, across vast distances, quickly.
The other thing right now that I see even getting worse is the avalanche of information.
I think that the way that we're going is only going to allow us to innovate more, and it's going to allow us to have new options in life, and there's going to be new challenges for us as well from this, as with anything else that we, branch out on.
If we have the technology to cut through the BS.
So here I am on the internet, taping this video right now and putting it on the internet, and having my fair say. And I believe at this moment in history, humanity is more connected and has the capability of being more connected than it ever has in the history of the human race.
Once we're demanding the information, then sure, it's great.
I've never been closer to people from across the world because of this technology.
And it could be good because we could gain an even wider source of information. And if somehow technology becomes completely universal, even people who don't have access to money or education the same way people with privilege do and people with money do, they might be able to be just as informed. And that would be extremely important.
People are now joining together more often, and they're becoming more of a community because of the technology that's being presented to us and how it's available to us in an everyday social environment.
We have now a platform that literally allows for every voice to be heard.
We can even look at our own systems of democracy, our own government, and actually see what's wrong with it and fix it. And that's what democracy is all about, right? The choice to actually look at things, say what needs to be done, and together change it.
Now we can come together more as a people and say, hey, you know, this isn't what we want. This isn't what we voted for. We need to make changes.
Well, again, it's just human connection. It's that conversation that we can have. And if we connect more people through technology, that's so many more voices, so many opinions.
So it could be good if it reached out and reached every single person.
I guess that is democracy, isn't it? Maybe? I don't know.
It's question what you do with what is available to you.
It's us. It's 100% us. And we get to decide how it's going to affect our lives. That's a really pretty amazing thought.
Because democracy only works if you participate.